Good evening, everyone. I guess I could tell you how happy washtay, but I'd be telling you good night, and we're not going to bed yet, so I won't say that. I'll say amba washtay. Um, I hope you're all doing well. I took the liberty of writing down some phrases, um, but these language bowls are we're creating them in your home, so I can only give you common phrases that I think that I would use. Like if you have phrases that you use daily. That's what the language bowl is. It builds phrases for you to use that you can use every day in your home. So if you have any phrases, like I would really like them. I think next week we're going to go into a mini quiz on everything that we've learned so far. And then I'm going to give you the 5 Ds today, and then we'll talk about those next week as well. So if no one has any questions, I'm going to go ahead and give you a few more phrases, and I'll give you some ways in which
Oh,
to.
wait. Can I
Yeah.
do my introduction? I practiced.
Oh, for sure you can. I'm sorry. Yes, you may.
Ha ambawash de machaje kikshak nogas treaty 57 and wate nishnabe zamacha nina wapana yuspena kona ambanen.
Oh, Ashte. That was fast.
So that's hello, it's good day. I'm called Kikshak Nogas. Treaty 57 is where I'm from. I'm Anishinaabe. I'm actually not Nakoda at all. And I'm thankful to be here learning Lakota today. Or Dakota. Nakoda.
Nakoda.
There. I said every other language first except for the right one.
Well, we're kind of really small people. We're a small band.
Well, the reason that I actually want to learn Nakoda is because the Nakoda are really important in the tribal history of the Ojibwe. They say that they gave us the medicine wheel or whatever.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's a little bit more history than you understand the concept of the language bowl, right?
Yeah.
I'm not teaching you language. I'm not teaching you language structure. I'm not
Yeah.
teaching.
I'm obviously going to go read all of the Vincent Collette stuff after this. I'm a amateur linguist. I plan to go to school for linguistics eventually.
Oh, wow. Well, good for you. I dabbled a little bit in it, but oh man.
The Native American linguistics are really, really insanely difficult. The only reason that I can really understand them is because I have autism and that my brain is really good at processing these sort of things.
You know what? I know a couple of autistic people, and that's what they say, that their brain is really good at deciphering those. So
I'm
I'm
going to
gonna
turn my
go ahead
microphone
and I'm
off
gonna
now because
start.
I'm.
Okay, for sure. Thank you. So if you guys all say Amba Washtay, right? And the phrases that I'm giving you, like they're just simple phrases. I'm not conjugating. If we got into like really bad, I could say a whole sentence without conjugating. So these are all simple phrases. You can say good day to my son. Good day, me chinch. Good day, my son. You can say good day to my daughter. Good day, me chungshi. You could say good day to your father. Ina. Say ambawashte a day, meaning your father. And I put me in front of my grandfather. If I'm gonna say just grandfather, ambawashte tu gashi. But I'm gonna make him my grandfather, so I'm adding the me right here in front of it. If you can see, can you guys see that, or did I write too small? I thought I was writing big. I'm gonna have to write bigger next round.
Now,
And I
if you
opted to
say
use this
just
paper.
grandfather in Native American languages, doesn't that usually refer to the son though, like without a pronoun?
Not when we're specifically talking about my grandfather or to my
Okay, so
grandfather.
there's different terms for kinship and like grandfather son then.
Yeah, and for
Yeah.
Nakoda people, the women talk different. We refer to our own things differently than the men do. There's a men's way and a women's way. I only know the women's way, unfortunately, but we're only going to do the simple terms anyway. So right here, you see this me? That's making him mine. That's my grandfather. The me too gashi and the me kushi. I'm making them mine. I could simply say ambawashte tugashi if I'm speaking to someone else's grandfather and not mine, or ambawashte kushi. And like, from my little puppet, her name is just simply Kushi, which means grandmother in Nakoda. I don't know why I wrote Heavy Wish Day. I was going to leave that for later so that you guys can go ahead and have the thing for good night. Heavy Wish Day, usually when people are walking out the door, just means good night. I don't know. Did you guys, like I said, you guys, if you have any words, any phrases that you guys use in your home, because these are phrases that you guys will be using in your home daily, right? So like I just picked random phrases. So nambe jaja, that's really big right now. Washing your hands, especially with
I I I teach myself language through prayer and song primarily. So any words that express gratitude would be good for me.
Okay, I will do that right away. Inde jaja, that's your face. Wash your face. Gikta, to get up. You can get that. Wana gikta, you can tell your children in the morning when it's time to get up before school. Go play outside. Taganshkad, especially today was a really nice day. All the children should have been outside today. Yeah, this is better. There's no glare, but I should have wrote bigger. Do you guys read? Do you read on the?
Oh, and I feel like it's worth mentioning that Fort Peck has an App Store app that helps you build your vocabulary.
And our Nakoda language is almost a mirror image of Fort Peck. There's very few differences in it.
I learned that when I was watching the first lessons. So
Yeah,
that's why I felt it was worth mentioning.
Yeah, and and also if you go to the University of Indiana, they have like a lot of Nakoda resources that you can access. So wana, meaning now, right now. Wana hoda, eat now. Wana iyunga, go to bed now. Wana could be used. It's a demonstrative, so it could be used to marry your sentences together. Nah, this. Je, meaning that over there. Je. Hi, Jason. Nena. Nena. These. And then if I put these over there, I could say jena. They're over there, though. Those over there. Waukt. Somebody invites you for coffee. Waukt. Oh, somebody says, oh, nakabi chinga ha. Waukt. You can tell them, do you want some coffee? Yeah, I'll come. Waukt. I will come or I am coming. Wauktesh. I am not coming. Like waukt, but wauktesh. I am not coming. I use this a lot when I speak to my students at school. When we go in and I ask them a question and they answer me in English, I'll always tell them nakon ia. Speak Nakoda. Nakon ia. Yeah, I ripped that one. I didn't want to rip those. A couple more. Tiosni. It's not cold inside tonight, but it means that it's cold inside your house. That tio is your house, right? Your T is your house. So tiosni, inside your house, it's cold. Then after inside your house it's cold, I put tiokad, meaning it's hot inside. Tiokad. And then I asked my grandchildren some of the words that we use every day. And because it's February, they told me love, tahina, chande skuya, your sweetheart. And then I just put hinkna and what kind of words like did you want like for Yogi P is to be happy.
Yeah, and I think about happy birthday. What do we say? E-hockey?
Yeah.
In front of that? Is that it for happy birthday? That's a common one I think that people would use lots, eh?
Amba ihaki. And it's the day that you have reached. Ihaki. Ihayak-i. You have reached it. Had to think about it. It didn't sound right. Yeah, but that goes in the middle. That Amba Ihayak, you have reached this day. Happy birthday! It's the day that you have reached. And when we're talking about birthdays in Nakoda, we always talk about how many winters, Winiadus that we have came through. I wouldn't say like no, I'm going to tell you guys how old I am. Just kidding. I am for me, Ambanen, Wikjemna Zapta, Wikjemna Zapta Sam Napchawang Winiedu Ihawa. Yeah, I have reached me. So I'm how old am I? I'm 59. I'm 59 today. Yogi P, to be happy. Sorry, you wanted words for to be grateful?
Yeah, to express gratitudes to the animals, to the birds, to the trees, to the etc.
Oh, do you have
So I have Nana Wapana. I am grateful.
you have that the newest book of or not the newest book? Do you have the book of Vincent's? I don't have one handy here.
I have one of them downloaded on PDF, but I don't have it printed off yet.
But there's the prayer in there, right, Justin? Yep.
There it is. Yeah.
Yep. There's a whole prayer in there that Armand and he talks about the two-legged and the winged.
Oh, perfect.
I'm sorry. I went looking for it yesterday because I was going to use it at the school, and
What?
I don't know what chapter it's in. I'm sorry, I couldn't tell you offhand.
Page 63.
Oh, okay, thank you. Of course, you would know it off by hand. I'm going to write that down. Thank you, Justin.
That one, yeah. I'm still only two kind of paragraphs or sections into it. I'm still trying to memorize the whole thing, but yeah, that's the Nakoda vocabulary book. That one that has it.
I was trying to see if I had a copy right beside me, but I don't. I use now I know there's copies also available for this one. This
Yeah,
is
I'm sure I can find it. A lot of Vincent's stuff is also available through academia.edu.
Yep.
So
I believe this is on there.
okay. Sweet.
For me, I understand this way better than I do Vincent's. You know, there's Vincent's is written in I think I need to be an English major. I'm kidding. It's very difficult for me to follow.
What is it? Is it like the language terms and stuff?
It's well, you'd understand it. You're a linguistics person, so you would it would
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I'm interested in. So
you would have no problem understanding that.
Because I already have I had to learn there was no way for me to learn my native language without learning the linguistics of it first. It just didn't make sense to me. So I had to.
I took a couple of linguistics classes as well to help me understand as well, but it wasn't something I enjoyed.
Well, yeah, it's dude. Linguistics is like the most boring science ever if you're not interested in it.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's page August. August is right. If you go to that academia, that's how I was able to get Vincent's first few vocabulary books, and then that's what you have, Teresa, that I shared with you, right?
Yep.
But yeah, it's page 63, August, in that the Nakoda vocabulary and phrases book done by Vincent and Armin.
And that's the whole.
I actually think I have that one downloaded already. So with
page
with the page
63,
number again?
you'd really enjoy it. It's a really good pair because it addresses exactly what you're talking about, addressing the birds, the animals.
Perfect.
It's good. It's really good. And it has a nice flow to it, and it's easy just to plot, put your name into it and stuff like that.
Miigwech Kinamaya.
Huh.
Kinamaya.
Kinamaya.
One for you that you probably don't know. You know that one?
One.
Oh. Kinamaya?
Kinamaya.
It means thank you, or you can say Pinama Yaya, meaning I thank you. Not Pinamaya is simply thank you to everyone, but Pinama Yaya means that I'm thanking you specifically.
Yeah. I literally just watched Lesson 2 before I came in here, so
Okay,
I remember
that. See, I wrote everything that I could think down for you guys have anything I can go on and I can read you all kind of stuff to put in your dialogue into your dialogue. I got loads of stuff. I can sit here and just rap stuff off the top of my head for but these are your language nests. What do you guys use on a daily basis? You know, I have all of these. I'm sticking everything here. How about if I tell you some more phrase, like, I don't know, like, what do you guys want in your language nest? Do you want anything specific? Oh, how about if I tell you about the 5Ds? I wrote those down specifically for this too. I was going to tell you about the 5Ds that we have. Like in English, you have the 5 Ws. In Nakoda, we have the 5Ds. And when you start a sentence with one of these D words, you do not have to use the question marker heh at the end of it, I'm told. So the first one, I'm going to write really big, okay? Dagu. It's not very bright, is it, you guys? Can you see? It's all right? Okay. Dagu. Maybe I'll try a black one. Dagu. When my kids tell me, Mom, that's one of the first things I'll say. Dagu. What? Right? What?
Dagu. What?
Yeah. What?
Dagu.
I'm going to give you this one. Dukden. It means where? Dukden. Where?
Unfortunately,
Another one. Dokia, also meaning where an object is, or where to specifically, I guess. Dokia, as in Dokina, where are you going? Due, if someone asks you who you are, you know that this is who. And what do I have right now? Well, which one am I missing? And then we have when. Doha. And those, like English, 5 Ws, we have our 5 Ds. Dagu, Dukden, Dokia, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's only 5. Oh, I forgot one. Doha, where? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But there's 2 wheres. I'm missing one. Duehu. Dagu, what? Where?
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Oh, okay. That's what I'm missing. Dagu Chen. Why? I knew I was missing one. Why? So if I'm gonna say Doha ya uha, when did you come? And I don't need the ha at the end, especially for us.
Is there one for how?
How?
Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, there probably is. Let me think about that one. How? How did that happen? Let me think. I haven't used the word how in a long time. I'm gonna look in my app here to see how we say how first. I don't.
Hello, Teresa.
Yep.
I have in my notes here, Dokan. Kenya, how are you?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Doken. It's like when we ask how are you? Doken ya so it would be probably Doken. But I'm trying to flip my mind into like how did that happen, he asked. So I guess I would probably ask why did that happen? How did that happen?
Yeah, they're to be and happening in Native American languages are like really complicated forms. Yeah, it's the same thing in Ojibwe. They instead of like if you're to say something is happening, you use like a whole different like particle.
A lot of people especially where I work, they ask me to translate things. But when they ask me to translate, like this one of the kids, how are you, bro? Like, we didn't speak like that. Like, you have to have that
No.
Nakoda mindset to translate things. Granted, Nakoda is a descriptive language, so there are several ways we could describe something.
Bro, I had somebody ask me to translate in Ojibwe a sentence into Ojibwe with the word robot in it, and I was like, bro, I can't do this. I
Yeah.
was like, I
See,
have
when
no
I went
idea
when
how
I
you
went
would say robot.
when I went to university that we had to translate a story, and I couldn't translate a story, so I just wrote my own. I just came up with a story and wrote my own. It was easier.
Yeah, I just
Doken,
checked. Yeah, Doken is how. Yeah,
Doken is how.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Good job.
if I think about it, it has to be how, right? Because we say
Yeah, but
Doken.
isn't it silly? It's something we should just know, but you really got to think about
Yeah,
it.
you think about it after,
Yeah.
especially it's like when I'm sitting talking. I can say all these words in Nakoda. As the minute I stop and wonder, how do I conjugate this verb? Is this a why? Like, and then I start stumbling and struggling. It's if I don't think about it and I just say it, then it's yeah, because dokenya uns, how are you, right?
I
You
was
guys,
thinking something else you probably do with your students when you're introducing. I'm just thinking about there's a lot of beginners in this class. Just recognizing those 4 directions, those cardinal directions. Those are probably 4 words for a beginner they'd like to start with to understand that worldview. When we have a minute tonight, when you have time.
okay, for sure.
I was told by a Lakota that the Asuri Sakawan believe in 7 directions, including up, down, and inside.
Ah,
Wagan hokun imahen up, wagan hokun down, imahen inside.
Mm-hmm. No.
It was like today at the school, I went in and I subbed for one of the older the middle years teachers and one of the students. Like, I'm building language bowls in there, so I went around and I gave every student a piece of paper and I asked them to write a phrase down that they would use on a daily basis. And the student, you know what the student put down? How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Do you want to know what I told him?
I'd be so mad.
This is what I told him. Bispida ja chabaksa ogihi ha donach ogihi ha chabaksa tinta ha. How much wood could a woodchuck? And I don't even know where that came from. Like, I didn't even think about it. I just spit it out, right? So that's how I mean when if I can sometimes it just comes naturally. Sometimes I struggle.
If I try to think about it using the English language, it's hard. But if I just think and it just pops out of my head, it's not.
See, well, yeah, because if you look at how Nakoda is written, we're gonna write Amba Washte, right? But it translates to good day. But what it literally translates to, if we look at it and translate it word for word,
Day good.
Yep.
Day good. Yeah.
Yep. And there's lots of people that say Nakoda is backwards, but there's lots of Nakoda people who say English is backwards. So there's an argument there.
Nakoda, I think, has the same subject, object, verb order as French and Spanish.
And we are a verb-based language. We have a lot of verbs in our language.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions? Any requests? Mitrunks. Sorry, I had to give my secretary some direction here.
Hi, Teresa.
Yes.
I have a question. So when we went through, it's kind of back a few pages on you. I am coming, and then I am not coming, and you added the sound at the end.
That SI making an I.
I guess. So
That
would
makes
that be like a negative?
Yeah.
For other verbs.
Yep. That SI will everything that ends in this will be negative. And that we're making it a future tense when this is at the end of it, dakte, like akawichim naginkt. I'm not saying it,
It's okay.
but it changes also with the vowel in front here, right? But that is, we're futurizing it. It didn't happen yet. And
Okay.
that's a negative statement. It's a
Generally, but not always, with Native
Right.
American languages, you'll find negations at the end of the word. Generally, but not always.
Well, for Nakoda, we have it's at the end of the word.
Yeah,
Always
that's why I
at the end
said
of the word,
generally,
yeah.
but not always. For most Native American languages in the North, the negation will go at the end of the word.
Okay, I think that helps me. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. When we talk about ourselves, it's always Mia, right? Mia, that's you. Always Mia. This is you. This will always be you when you talk about yourself. You're a Mia. If you're gonna talk about somebody else or those people or that that would be you. Like if I'm talking. Remember last week I told you I made the kids sit beside me? Namia, Jania. This is me. That is you. Nia would always be that you. And for all of us will always be ooh. This makes it us always the ooh. This is all of us. Ourselves, ourselves, I guess. There's first person, second person, third person, verbs in Nakoda. I'm only teaching you the plural, the first and the second. That's all I'm teaching you guys. Or that's all I'm telling you guys. I know I told you last, I don't know if I still have that. Oh, here we go. No, I don't have that verb book. Last week I had all my books around me and I didn't even use any of them. So this week I didn't put any books around me. Now I need them. So any other phrases that you guys want to learn? Or no?
Teresa, how do you say give me a kiss? Is it maku and then what?
Ima butaga.
Ima
Butaga.
butaga. Can you spell it?
Ima butaga. And that's, I don't know why you're already asking for them to give you with this E here.
Okay.
And to kiss me, ima butaga. It's like when I'm shy, imashtaja, I would say. It's that verb. You're a ma, an e and a
Okay.
ma in it. What is that? That is the what kind of verb is this, Jason? My English is gone. Because there's 3 classes of verbs, right? That we ima butaga. I can't even tell you what the root word would be to that, Jason. I'm sorry.
I can't
Okay.
really see
But
it
that's
there.
what my mom and dad, that's what we would. It's ima, B, U, I spelled it Taga, ima butaga.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I just remember that from my parents. That word I can't bust apart for, but I'll ask one of my teachers to dice and I'll tell you about it next week. Because when I don't have the answers, I have relatives that I can ask for these answers so that I can find you them, okay?
And why I asked that is because someone said that to me one time a long time ago, and they told me what it meant, but I wasn't sure if I was believing them. So I thought, you know how when some people will make you
Is
say
that what they
foolish
said?
things? Yeah, that's exactly what
Oh
they
yeah,
said. And I also figured out from a very long time ago, David Soto used to come in and he would ask me to roll a cigarette for him because his hands were so arthritic. And he would order a glass of draft, but every time he would say,
mm-hmm.
oh, Amagia, And I always thought he was ordering a
Help me.
mug, a mug of beer.
No, yeah.
But he was ordering a glass of beer and he was thanking me in some way for rolling his cigarette. And I noticed that means,
To help.
yeah,
Omagia? He was asking you
yeah.
for help, yeah.
So I was learning, I'm just remembering all these little phrases and things that I've heard in past years
I heard
and
it.
figuring out what exactly they mean it for real. So it's interesting. But thank you.
Yeah, that's all those. I remember I used to work in the local tavern as well. I mean, different you owned it, but I mean, when I used to work in there, I remember there's a gentleman that would come in, and he would tell me every time he came in, "Tagos ni kaya ish," huh? He telling me like I didn't know anything, right?
Yeah.
But I never paid any attention to him. I let him talk, And I don't know why this one day I was must have been grouchy or something. Dagos na kaya ish, he told me, ah, niyaka. Dagos na kaya ish, tuyak patang you ha. I told him, and I walked away from him. Huh? You don't know anything. You have a big head for nothing. I told him.
See, I wish I would have known some language back then that I could have popped up, but I was learning. I learned all the numbers and just from friends teaching me. But now that I'm looking at it and I'm seeing it, all that's coming back now because it's been many years, right?
Oh yeah, I remember the old Chinese guy that used to own the cafe in there. What was his name? My dad used to call him Kona,
Wing.
and yeah,
Yeah.
he would talk to my dad. He would talk Nakoda to my dad. So,
Isn't that interesting?
and he was Gasua. I didn't say that right. Gasuna. There we go.
You guys see the video of a Nakoda and a Dakota talking to each other, and they can understand
Yes.
each other perfectly.
Yes, and they could
Well,
understand.
not perfectly, but like pretty. They said we could understand each other pretty good. That's what they said.
When I worked for
I
Tribal
love that
Council, I had the pleasure of working with Wayne Goodwill. Do you guys know Wayne Goodwill? Does anyone know Wayne Goodwill? Yes, I had the pleasure of working with Wayne, and we could sit down and we could talk to each other we talked all the time. In fact, I helped him do his videos because I could understand his Dakota as well, and I learned a lot.
It's the same way with Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi. They're all mutually intelligible for the most part.
Yep, because if you look at the Siouan language, there's there's only the three of us under the Siouan cap, right? There's Nakota, Lakota, and Dakota, right? Being the D dialect, the L dialect, and the N dialect.
Yep. Oh, and Stony.
Yeah, the Stony Lakota. Nakota.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm saying Lakota.
It's like different enough to be classified as like its own dialect, though.
Okay, well, we're 36 already. I'm gonna write this as big as I can.
Oh, is last week's lesson going to go up on YouTube? Because I noticed it's not there yet.
Be already.
We're having some problems with the files, but they will be up. We do have the files, and they'll be up eventually.
Okay, cool. Well, it's not a big deal because I was actually at the third lesson, so.
I think I can actually just drop it in the chat here if that works for you guys.
Well, I mean, I'm just like, I was just asking because I'm going to go back and review all these lessons eventually. Yeah. Once I get my books and stuff.
Yep. Yeah, it will eventually be up.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
There's your four directions. Wihinapa, meaning east. The sun is coming up. That's the side that the sun is rising. Wihinapa, the sun rises on that side. Wiodaham, which means straight down. That means south. Wiochpeam, that means west. And Waziam, north. You know, that's what we call Santa Claus too, huh? Was east, west, sorry, east, south, west, and north. Wihinapa, Wiodaham, Wiodahpeam, Waziam. Diane? I think I said it, I articulated them clear and good. Machande Skuya. Oh, I can't see the chats. I'm sorry, you guys. Am I ignoring your chats? There we go.
Is that right? I was just going through my dictionary. That's the only one I could find for sweetheart, but I don't know what you had written down. I can't remember.
You're making that my sweetheart. I just simply said sweetheart. You're making it your sweetheart.
Oh, so just be chod, chod a heart. Yeah. Huh.
But you're putting them on in front of it, so you're making it your sweetheart.
Got it.
What else? I have lots of, like I said, I can give you guys phrases till the cows come home.
Lisa, do you understand what Teresa was saying with that? So that MA at the beginning just personalizes it to make it like my. So if you just drop that MA, then you just have the general, you're just saying sweetheart.
It's like wah. If I put the wah in front of chinga, remember? Chinga is to want, right? The root word is to want. I'm too low. Sorry, you guys.
No, what? Okay, so I have the direction words written down, but I forget which one is which.
Okay. I went east, south, and north.
West, and north.
August, is it the same for you with your Ojibwe that you start in the east?
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
I just think that's all first name.
But our last is west though, because west is Epingishimak where it sinks, which is the father of our cultural hero. But yeah, and otherwise it's completely the same.
What about for your guys like lodges? Like, so Nakoda Lodge, the door's usually to the south, hey? What about for you?
It really depends on who's holding the lodge and their traditions, because the Ojibwe have like a lot of different community traditions because we like are spread so far over Turtle Island.
Huh. Okay. Punamaya.
Generally people will have either south or they'll have an east and west, but I don't generally see north. I usually only see east and west or south. If it's two doors, it'll be east and west. If it's one door, it'll usually be south.
Ah, Pinamaya.
I gave you guys the words for cup, bowl, spoon. I didn't give you guys any words for animals or to be sick. To be sick. There's lots of flus going around. To be sick would be to be yaza. Yaza. Ambawashte, dokanya. Oh my yaza. I'm sick. Someone might tell you, right? Then you would go on to say, oh, Dago-chan. How come? What's wrong? Dago-chan. Let's say it's always something wrong with Teresa's head. I'm kidding. Pamayaza, I have a headache. Nehemayaza, my stomach is sore. Istomayaza, my arm is aching. Humayaza, my leg is aching. My leg is sore. My leg is sick. You could say those things if you're, Daya, dokanyo, Dayama. Most people answer. Some people will say, tell you, Sijama, I'm coming along badly. And then you could ask them why they're coming along badly. And then they'll tell you. I was kidding.
Dushta. is the other one I always use. Tired, if people are asking how I'm doing. Tired.
Stusta. Stusta, I would say stusta.
Stusta.
Yeah,
Stusta.
stusta, like this.
So that's why I'm enjoying this, just to hear those words.
Yeah, because even me, Jason, when I don't talk for a few days, I'll forget. Simple words I will forget.
If you don't use it, you'll lose it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I find it hard because I don't have anybody to speak with, but I have been using the words, some that I think of when I try to remember one and keep saying them daily at least. But it would be easier if you had people to talk to.
Yeah, see,
Find
well,
people on Facebook. Find people on Facebook and make a group chat. That's what I did with Ojibwe.
Oh, that's a good idea.
there you go, Lorraine. You could invite all of us. I don't have the time to do a group chat, but there you go. You can do one and invite us all. Jason's deadly too, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, we have that. There is that one. Oh, geez, it's on.
Nakoni, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's that one, and then there's another Amba Nakon.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, I haven't been on that
That's
one for a while.
That's a good one. There's a Tom Snow's on there usually every day. Michael's on there. Turcott, Sarah MacArthur. Like there's a lot. It's good dialogue there, just with the kind of daily words and Stony too. There's a new guy's name. Well, Travis Ryder. He's the one that August was talking about. That's in one of those videos that was on just posted with the Lakota and Nakoda speaker.
Yeah, I
So,
saw that.
yeah, Travis Ryder. So he's Stony, and so he's been really good getting stuff onto that Facebook page too, and I'll look for it here on my phone and see if I can post it in the chat even, just the
Yeah,
name of it, so you can search
Yeah.
Facebook for it, because it is a good one. Like I said, it's always kind of got, even like Tom Snow the other day, it's called Eagle Moon right now, this moon that we just had.
Yeah.
So he just has good.
See, and for us Nakodas, we call it the long day moon, right? Because the days will start getting longer now. Haska Hawi, we call it us.
Bear moon for the Ojibwe. It's when the bear starts to wake up.
Oh, see, February, March, April, we call it April frog moon. When the frogs start coming back to life. I have a friend.
I think April is broken snowshoe moon in Ojibwe.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
They wouldn't.
Well, I'm northern Ojibwe, so our community is really far north. Sometimes still have snow in April, but like you're gonna break your snowshoes.
I'm gonna let you guys listen to a little quip. My friend Travis, not Travis Ryder, Travis Thompson sent me, and this is one of our relatives who have passed on already. He did a lot for our Nakoda language and did some deciphering.
Nagahane, Nakoda, Omani Bihonda, Yechingamani, Okna, Omani Bi. Ochangu ish, Nagahanen, Ochangu washtejena, Okna, Omani Bi. Doki wa chibik dahanda, Tehashinko, Iha Ibi. Wani edu kowa, Ochangu ne, Yushbaknebi. O mas ape ish, Yuhabichin. Doki yabik dahanda, ka e togan, mas apab. Nakod iyahe, ogi chik nagabi. Mas ape okna, nakon wogi chik nagabi handa, daya nage chiho. Iya ki yabe, ish okna omanibi. Teha shinshin, tehan han ibi. Ake pia hashiko knibi. Jechin nagahane, nakod omanibi. Jena, ons daya, wagi chik nagabi. Ink ish, ogi
I was
chiako.
trying to shut it off and I can't hear.
Washane,
Yeah, that's Travis Thompson sent me that would be his grandfather. He sent me two stories. He sent me that one first, and to catch the root words in there, Jason, did you some of those? Yeah, I didn't understand it. He sent me another quip and he talks about he talks about his what are they called? Harrows, I believe, that they scrape the earth. Makocha, how does he say it? But he talks about them. He talks about them scraping the earth in this one here. But I didn't know what he was talking about till he sent me that other one. I had to listen to both of them to understand what he was talking about the first one. And like you see some of the verbs that he conjugates in that story, I couldn't even grasp the root word to it. Because like I said, a whole sentence can be conjugate, like you can conjugate a whole word, you can conjugate a whole sentence into one word. Like if I do the taganshkad, that's go play outside, right?
Yeah. Ojibwe has some really crazy conjugation as well. Like our word for blueberry pie is mina bashka mina b2 sijigan bak wejigan, which means sticking blueberries inside pieces of bannock and putting them in the oven, watching them explode.
That's quite the mouthful.
Yeah, it goes the opposite way too, where single words can become full-on sentences if the thing that you're describing is particularly complex to describe.
Okay, that's deadly. Okay, what time are we at here? We got 10 minutes.
Like anything that doesn't have a Nakoda word already has the potential to become a huge description instead of a single root word.
Yep, because like we're a descriptive language, and yet some of the words that I think that we talk like hoja, like why is that a fish? You know, how does it describe a fish?
The word for sturgeon in Ojibwe is name, but it's the same word for prayer. So I'm like, what's the difference between a prayer and a sturgeon? Like,
well, we have some words like that though. If we talk about heat,
Stone, yeah,
or stone, yeah.
and go. I
Yeah.
always said that.
but there's no phonetic difference though between fish and prayer. It's purely contextual. So you have to just like you like, you know what I mean? Like if they're talking about water, they're probably talking about a fish, and if they're talking about the sky, they're probably talking about prayer. Like
Yeah, in the context, yeah, same for us in the context in which it's used.
Because it would be really hard to tell, like if somebody's speaking fast, it would be really hard to even notice the nasalization of iya for stone.
Yeah, or yeah.
Because people get talking fast with the native languages.
Yeah, see, and as soon as I get nervous, I start talking fast too. So I'm trying to be slow. I'm trying to get slow.
Yeah, I'll try and make a video to post on like YouTube or Facebook or whatever sometimes, and then I'll be like, okay, I have to slow this down, otherwise people aren't gonna understand like anything. Like they'll be able to hear me, but they won't be able to understand any of the roots.
In that book, they're talking about going, leaving, departing, coming. Vincent's got a really good one about iaya, inked, iya. He does a whole circle in there. That's a really good one for about going, departing, and returning. Here's some more. Let's say somebody wanted you. Let's say you're asking me, and a man is asking me because I put the ha on it, and I'm bad for using the men language because I learned a lot of the language from my mom, so I have to correct myself. From my dad. That's why I talk like a man a lot of the time because I listen to my dad talk a lot, and my mom didn't correct me. They were just happy that we were speaking. I guess I don't know. She never did. They never corrected me. So say somebody said "Hoknach yabi yaching," I can say, "Huh, adaha maku." Yes, give me some. Adaha, some, right? We talk about Netchi and Jetchi. Netchi u, come here. Jetchi, Jetchi ninked. Are you going there? Ninked is to be going. Netchi ya ukt. Are you coming here? Here. Jetchi ninked. No, you're going there. I'm trying to. Nia I. You said it. Mia I. I said it. Stay. Nia I. You said it. I asked you if you wanted water. How about if someone came up to you and said, "Chajeni tawaja daguha." That name. What is your name? Chajeni tawaja. That name that belongs to you. Daguha. What is it? I told you to go to bed. Did I tell you? Did I tell you guys to go to bed? Just kidding. Wana iung. Wana iunga. Go to bed. I'm not writing these down. How about if we go through the times of day? In the morning time, or I guess for all day long, we would say amba washte, right? I got scolded for using this, but I'm going to teach you this. Hayakana washte is good morning. Most Nakoda people, we don't use that. We don't use hayakana washte, especially the elders. I told this to one of my elders one morning. I walked into the school. I walked in at work. Hayakana washte. You don't use that. I was told. We use the amba washte.
It's because amba washte or minagishgad or it's a good day in Native American language actually refers to the weather.
I would imagine this encompasses all that. It encompasses all the respect. I got scolded for using the hayakan washte. They told me that I can use that if I'm translating English into Nakoda words, and that's fine that I use that. Again, I'll refer back to my elder. I was chatting with the elder from one of the elders from my reserve, and he told me that language is changing. That didn't make me feel very good because I'm a language teacher. And is it us that is changing the language? So I asked him, how come the language has to change? Why can't it evolve? I asked him because I thought, that was more an appropriate word than to change the language. How come it can't evolve? Right? I think that's a better way to look at it. That's how I choose to look at it. So we wouldn't use the hayaka no washte, but the hayaka no washte means good morning. We odaha.
Different with the Dakota and the Lakota and the Nakoda because their languages are an isolate family. Like there are no other languages that are directly related to your language that you could say your language came from. So if your language never evolved from another language in the past, who's setting the precedent for that happening in the future?
Well, I mean, it would have had to evolve, right? Because we didn't have doors back in the day. We didn't have windows. We didn't have phones. We didn't have whiteboards. We have all those words for that now. Like, there's somebody that's developing the language as we're going through time.
And that's another thing is that there are always going to be these people who are making new words that are going to have to make new words in order for their languages to work in the modern day.
Yep, like we had we teach Nakoda every day on our professional development day at NOEC, and last Friday was our professional development day. We couldn't find a word for snack. There's no word for snack, right? The teachers want to know because we have snack time in the morning and in the afternoon. So between my other teacher, JR, we said Yuda. It's something that you just chew quickly, right? Yuda, to chew. So we called the snack Yuda. Another one we didn't have was granola bars. We haven't figured that one out yet. But what we think how we're going to translate our granola bars is we're going to take the wheat. There's a word for wheat, and we're going to take the word for peanuts, and we're going to put that injahi in there, and I think that's the word that we're going to use for the granola bar. I'm not sure about the word for wheat. I didn't want to say all these words. I'll look
There's
up.
No word for wheat in Ojibwe.
And I don't know the word for wheat in Nakoda. That's something that I don't know.
We do have a word for wheat, but it just means half bread.
See, and flour flour is something naska. It's flattened wheat. That's what flour is.
Huh. Yeah. What our word for flour and our word for wheat is both just half bread. So half bread. Like, what is it? It's such a weird word. Like, they're like, this is half of bread because back in the day, they're making fry bread, which is only like 2 or 3 ingredients, right? So they're like, this is half of our bread.
See, we have ahuabi, that's bread.
Yeah.
We talk about ahuabi saga, we're talking about toast. If we say ahuabi winkni and chomba, we're talking about grease bannock because it's cooked in the grease, right?
Teresa,
So,
when you're working on your canola bar words, I just went to the Indiana website and they have words for like wheat and spring wheat
Yeah.
and oats on it. So just as you put that word together, you can find some there.
okay. Yeah, see, there's different types of oats, right? What kind of wheat or what kind of goes in there? We'd have to be specific on that. I said too. I agree. So we'll have to, yeah. See, maybe that's something we can work on when JR comes back next time.
If I sent you an email of a song that I was taught in Lakota, could you translate it for the Nakoda dialect? Like, could you fix
I'll give it a good try. Send it to Jason too, okay?
Okay, yeah. I'll definitely send it to Jason for sure. But
yeah, because he's probably better at well, I think he does a
No,
good job.
Teresa, you're being too
But
humble.
you know what?
You're light years ahead of me.
You have all the technology, you know, all that technology, like, right?
Yeah, that's what Amos always said. I'm the resource guy or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
To learning the language, I'm definitely still just a beginner. There's no doubt about it. I'm not
But the
fooling anyone here.
resource wise, you do a really good job resource wise.
but if you have the resources, it shouldn't be too hard for you to just switch it over from Lakota dialect.
It shouldn't be. You would think if it's a song and if it was pre-made before, we should have the words.
It's just a peyote song that I learned when I was like 16 at ceremony. So
Okay, we're up to 8 o'clock. I guess now it's time for our question and answer. If anyone has any questions
Well, I'm
or
gonna
answers, I'm kidding.
Mita Konabi, Hahebi Washte. So Cash again, no, I gotta get going here, you guys, but we'll see you again next week, okay?
A heavy wish to you, huh?